Hey T, you guys have won 10 of your last 11 games. Like, what's this run like?
Oh, it feels great to just be in a type of winning mentality, going to every game focused. I'm super excited.
Now look, this right here is just ridiculous.
Thompson, wildly athletic, throws it down.
Now if you know Ausar Thompson, that's not even the focal point to his game, as his ability to shut down players on a nightly basis is really where things get out of hand. When you see a player that will attack the ball like a hyena and then re-engage with his ops when they look like they have possession again, this is when you know you're dealing with someone special. It's times like this when the defender has to help over that a simple pass to the wing will be easy to make, but when Ausar is on the court, things are quite different. Not only is he able to slide over to take away this drive from Miles Bridges, but he's also quick enough to plant and then launch out to steal this pass once Bridges sends it over. For many players in the league, they would have given that pass up and just gave up on the play. But Thompson understands that no play is truly over unless you give up. As here when Jordan is rolling to the basket, Russ assumes DeAndre is going to be open enough to catch and finish, but hey, Ausar has something to say about that. Not often do we see this hustle and hard from guys on a nightly basis, so that's why we tend to see the pick and roll be so effective. But for guys that specialize on defense, they see this open space as an area they can lunge into, and here comes another steal off the two-man action. When you show the opposing team that they can't just easily operate out that pick and roll without thinking twice, this can mess up the offensive flow completely, and trust me, if you choose to be lazy with your pass when he's around, he's gonna make you pay for it. This right here is the skill of anticipation. When you're just going through the motions and not really worried about what the defense is doing, this here is simply a no-no, as Ausar is always scanning the floor to see what the offensive player is going to do next. So before KCP can even make the pass, Ausar is right there with a hand on it, and now it's an easy bucket off the steal. Thompson is truly never locked in on one guy having tunnel vision, as he understands that players will look for a way out of his chamber, so just like a play we discussed earlier, Thompson gets in front of Hart to stop the attack from going any further, and although he bites on this pass fake slightly making him move out of position, he's still able to stretch out to get a hand on the ball and then go the other way. If we're being honest, I know this can frustrate the defense a ton, because on this play right here, Julius Randle looks wide open on the roll, so of course as a ball handler, you're gonna want to send this pass. But shortly after the pass is made, you now see Thompson inserting himself in the play, and if you don't have full control when receiving the pass, you might as well chalk up another turnover. This skill to anticipate what offensive players will do is highly underrated, as it will allow Thompson to cover Plumlee here, taking away any backside action. And if we're all looking at the same screen, I know you all can see that Grayson Allen is open at this moment. But hold on one second, you're going to see Ausar release off Plumlee towards the corner as KD initiates the pass over the top, and yet again, it's another play broken up. Honestly, if you were to ask any GM in the league, I'm pretty sure they would love to have this type of player on their team. No play can really get by him, as he can react quickly and adjust in midair to pick off this pass. When it seems like you're going to give up a wide open three, well hold on one second, Ausar can shift gears to recover out to the corner to pick this one off, and with major trust in those recovery skills, you're going to see Thompson point for Jalen to go ahead and pick up Suggs on the fast break. And I know some of you may not think this is all that crazy, but he's practically telling Jalen to give up a backside lob. This right here takes some guts and a lot of trust in yourself, because if Ausar isn't able to get back, this will end up in a bucket, but I guess we'll never even know. Yeah, count him out to play all you want, but that's truly not a good idea if you're an offensive player. He'll show you time and time again that he can interrupt your offense in many different ways, and if that was all too subtle for you, well now Ausar will smother you in his gas chamber, not letting you create any space, and eventually you'll end up giving the ball up. Like seriously, I'm not playing at all. James Harden barely passes half court on this possession and he's already picking up his dribble. Now why is that? Well, Ausar has these hands that act as knives, so with many stabs at the ball, one is for sure gonna pierce through, and here's where you have yourself another forced turnover. The special part about this intense defense is that it's not just used on guards or guys his size, as here he has no fear of matching up with the much larger Lauri Markkanen, and the results still end the same. Now if we're talking about me personally, I wouldn't want to be the person attacking him straight up, as any space left from your body and the ball is an opportunity for Thompson to get his hand in there, and I promise you, he'll never let it slide. Right here you're going to see Modest be a little loose with the handle on the outside of his body, which ends up in a pickoff, and then even if the defender tries to get space from him and keep a tight handle, well here's where Ausar jams into the ball handler, giving them no room to move, and with those quick hands, he'll then take it right from you. This haunting nature he has defensively lets Thompson just straight bully guys out their lunch money, and it doesn't just stop there, as he can also protect the rim if needed. As we see on this play, Isaiah Stewart has complete tunnel vision on the ball handler, and this now lets the cutback side be available. At this point, it looks like it'll be an easy dump off for a finish, but out of nowhere, Thompson comes into the picture to erase it. Having a player who can locate the intruder when everyone is asleep to then protect the home is a valuable asset, and even if he tries to take the peaceful route posing no threat with the charge setup, he can flip the switch in a quick manner to be the best home defense and bow, get that up out of here. Yeah, you better be careful around that rim, and although he only averages 0.5 blocks per game, you can't take Ausar lightly, because if you do, well, he'll show you not to even try to test him, and just when you thought you broke away from him to make a play, he'll come get his revenge on the back end. This awareness, hustle, and heart is rarely seen in the NBA. Of course, him being extremely athletic is what takes his game to another level, but without the passion to want to sit down and guard and focus to break up plays, none of this would even be possible. I know in today's league we tend to overlook defensive players due to the NBA being an offensive driven league, but you can't just not talk about someone who poses this big of a threat on the defensive end. This right here gives the team flexibility as he can guard multiple positions with ease, and if other guys on the team happen to fall asleep on plays, they know they have someone who they can depend on to clean it up. Now for his offensive game, it's honestly not the best. He still has to polish a lot about his game if we're being honest, but I like him as an aggressive rim threat by staying in the dunker spot, cutting to the rim, and getting out in transition. His ability to leap and also be strong inside is something that will make his offensive game more valuable, and I mean hey, just look at his brother and how he scores on the offensive end. It's not many threes or jumpers in general, as he tends to stay around the basket more and punish defenders inside. When I look around the league today, I'm starting to see a lot of players flourish in their own roles instead of having to be some great three-point shooter or a great ball handler, and that right there is great for the league. No longer do you have every guy trying to do the same thing, as guys are starting to find their footing and stand out with the skill sets they have. Sure, I get it, shooting and scoring the ball is probably the most exciting thing on the court, and it'll make you gain more fans over the course of your career. But when a team can get a guy who can play tremendous defense and then be a glue guy on the offensive end, this is where you find yourself in a win-win situation. Ausar isn't totally a liability on the offensive end as he once was, as he gets in where he fits in, and if you've been watching the Pistons as of late, he started to get more in his bag as far as scoring and playmaking when he's on the floor. It's kind of crazy to say, but Detroit basketball is back, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it. I'm pretty excited. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more of these, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.